When I came out to Dallas, that was one of the things I was very intentional about doing was any, like they have Big D, which is a big user experience and design event conference that happens in Dallas every year. I was very intentional about going to those every year and not only just attending, but really meeting as many people as I can, talking to as many people as I can, making those connections. And one of those connections actually paid off. One of those connections is one of the ones that got me the job at Lennox. So I know you said you were going to talk about this, but I'll just go ahead and jump right to it. One of
Yeah.
the best things somebody who wants to get into an industry or somebody who is just out of college, someone who is new and really trying to get that first step in their career, one of the best things that they can do is network, because hundreds of resumes come in and there's nothing that has more weight than a recommendation from someone who already works at that company. And you can go as, I mean, I've done it times where I've just reached out to people and say, hey, man, I really like what you're doing over there at the organization. I know so and so who maybe like two connections away from that person, but do you want to just meet up for coffee? I'd love to understand more of what you're doing there and just what kind of opportunity exists at the organization. No strings attached. I just want to learn more about what you guys are doing, and not salesy. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to learn. Nine times, well, I wouldn't say nine times out of 10. It's not that often. Maybe two out of the 10 times you'll get somebody who says, hey, yeah, you know what? Yeah. Or, you know what? I can't meet for coffee, but we can talk for 30 minutes on Friday if you want. Right. And those discussions can open so many doors because you have that good discussion with that person. And then a rec opens up at that company. You can reach out to that person and say, hey, remember me? We talked. I just saw this opening. I think I'd be a great fit. Do you know who the hiring manager is? Do you think you could put in a good word for me? And people would love to help and bring somebody on their team who they feel confident and can back. And that's exactly what happened with me at Lennox. I met a recruiter somewhere and saw the job posting and reached out to them. They remembered me and brought me in, and that's how I got my foot in the door at that place. So highly recommend. Don't just blanket send out resumes because it's, I mean, you're a straw in a pile at that point. Like you want to make sure you can work your way into the discussion, not just be part of the flood that's coming in.
Man, it's so great. It's such great advice. I'm glad you said that because I mean, even the 2 out of 10, like I think people are so scared to hear no that a lot of times they don't even like try, right? But you telling me a 20% success rate is something that's very important. So it's like you can send out, 10 or 100 or just multiply it from there. But you never know how many people will say yes, and those single yeses are highly impactful, and
Yeah.
you proved it. That's the way that you landed that job at Linux, and without that, do you get that next opportunity, whether it's at Sally or somewhere else, or even all the way to Progress? So I think that's highly important.